We have a different problem now. This is also a three-dimensional problem. You have this rod AB, which has a length of 125 millimeters and is attached to a vertical rod that rotates about the y-axis at a constant rate of omega 1, 5 radians per second. Knowing, it says, that the angle formed by the rod AB and the vertical is increasing at a constant rate of d beta dt of 3 radians per second. Determine the velocity and acceleration of the NB of the rod when beta is 30 degrees. Okay, here's again a little review of the principles involved in solving this problem. Principle, when we have the angular velocity omega of the body, the angular velocity, determine the velocity and acceleration of a point of a body rotating about a fixed point. That's what the problem is. So to find the angular velocity of the body. So this would be find the angular velocity with respect to a fixed frame of reference. And this you could say omega 1 and omega 2 to find out what it is. So in here we do that, and the other principle is the angular acceleration of the body. Alpha is omega of the rotating frame, or you could say that is omega of one axis plus a rotation. So alpha is the rate of change P dot A of the vector W, a fixed frame of reference X, Y, Z. Okay, so those are the basic principles here. This again, the acceleration of the point B, one point on the rigid body, is the tangential acceleration, which is alpha cross r, and the normal, which is omega cross omega cross r. Okay, so determine the angular velocity of the body. We have that omega 1 is 5j radians per second. Omega 2 is the rate of change of the beta angle, which would be 3 radians per second. And omega 2 is 3k radians per second. So in this case, we have to compute the velocity of a point on the rigid body. The velocity of n for beta 30 degrees is 0.125. Then we have the definition of this R, which is the body in question. So the velocity of B has to be parentheses, but velocity of B is omega cross R, and you have this matrix in there that solves that. right? And that will reveal these numbers. So we do this omega cross r is very important to remember. So in here we have the velocity of v is with the components in there. But now, what about the acceleration of the body, which we hadn't done in the previous example? Okay, let's figure it out. It says that the frame XYZ, yeah, is fixed. The frame, the OXYZ, the little one, with minuscule, is attached to the vertical rod and rotates with a constant angular velocity, omega 1. Yeah, consequently, omega 1 dot, so the change is 0. Right? So we'll apply here that alpha is omega 2 dot, or if it is the alpha is the is omega 2 dot plus omega cross omega 2. So with these matrices we can calculate the acceleration. So you recall that the omega was 5j plus 3k, and that alpha was 25, no, it was 15i. The relative motion 0.062 minus 10 for j. So you have the velocity of v is omega cross r, and then you have the other one here. The acceleration of v is alpha cross r plus omega cross r. Okay, so if you do this cross products, you'll come up with the acceleration of this point. So what I'm asking you to do is, I need you to enter the model into the computer and then run some tests. So, but these were just a couple of examples that I wanted to give you. We do this, all this. Okay. What I would like to do is, if you can come into this web page, see where it says Introduction to Nastran 4D, this PDF, and then solution exercise of the 3D mechanism. In other words, I give you the solution. Okay. Now we have, for the homework assignment, you have these 3 problems by hand, and then you have the computer assignment in this case, which uses the solution of the exercise 1 mechanism. All right. So there is a tutorial in here that that we can follow this. Oh, this is the solution. Okay. Okay, there's two. So for the rest of the time, I would like you to, I'm showing you. See, there's this one that will help you build this system, this disk. Okay, just an exercise. For example, this would be good for a quiz. So it will be good to practice that. But this one is the more, the much more, is much more difficult. And then you have to do this. See, every part was designed separately until we put it together. Okay, any questions about this? Why don't we get yourselves on this, and what I would like you to do is quietly on your own, look at the solution first, and your task is to, using the computer, produce the same solution. To do that, I have prepared these two documents, so you're not going to be doing it all on your own. Just get on this and start doing the parts and you do it. Now, I grant you that there is a possibility of throwing everything inside Maxim Y4D. Why is that? The reason is that the system is not that complex, and Maxim 4D or SimY4D, they have those tools to produce sliders and to put the regular joint on the ends of those two rods, and it's not a problem. But I think it would be helpful to go through the two tutorials. I'll point out to you again. One of them is, of course, this one, which is more complex, and the other one is this one, this guy. And this is the one that has the dynamics of a disk. See right there. This is the problem. So first try this one and then try the other one of the solution. So let's see your task for now. I know you're working diligently on your homework. It is good. Good.
Other question that I have, when I emailed you, so I tried to run this.
Hmm?
I tried to run it. It's backwards, so I don't know.
Going backwards is the normal thing
Okay.
because it carries the axis. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
I think the question of the mental conditions that would be here in the more personal development. That I will go look more on what we do.
Okay, I think that's the initial condition.
But we'll see what's gonna happen.
So,
The
yeah.
car is gonna go like this. If they are not big enough, the car may not even move, but it will hesitate for a little bit and then go running and then see if it's going. See?
Okay.
It doesn't immediately go down
Okay.
because you giving the system initial rest.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Um, one way would be the center of mass seems that I have seen others. Where they put another and then they put in the one and then have other really different strings. Okay, good. Yeah, give it a shot for that. Just like you do, you could have it put it on the left hand side. Good. Because you're creating the parts first. Don't be surprised if the tutorial deviates just a little bit with your own program on the screen because they're two different versions. With alarm of this. It has enough tools within the so the entire mechanism goes in. It is the vertical practice doing a little bit of SolidWorks and simply mask using because you could actually create yeah for that one yeah 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 it's like was I know but not in the future I think it will disappear everything electronic. I'm not sure but right now you think about this right now you I use still you buy it from the publisher but if they control how many chapters they can download then it's just like the songs in iTunes. If you want the song, then you have to pay, and to go to the next chapter, you have to pay again. Feel a little more But nowadays, I was talking